righty, so we got him. And who is he? Well, he represents all that is wrong with America, an America that the left has created, radicalized, and become hateful and violent. Their words, their vile hatred, they incited this moment. He is just a cog in the world the left has created, and it will take a lot more than we got him to put an end to it. Here's plenty of misrepresentation right now on the left, as usual. False claims that Charlie Kirk was a racist and that somehow his rhetoric and behavior led to his own assassination. They're all lies, of course, all of them being proven wrong. They're trying to rationalize violence and murder. That's what the left does. That's how sick and twisted these people are. In a now deleted post, Stephen King, that guy Stephen King, the author and movie guy, Stephen King, told his nearly 7 million followers on Wednesday that Charlie Kirk advocated for stoning gays. After a justified uproar and backlash at a disgusting lie, King came out with this, and I'm quoting, "I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocated stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages." His apology tour continued. He responded to every single person who demanded he retract such an incendiary statement, but the damage is done. Words matter, folks, especially to twisted psychopaths looking for a reason to become a terrorist. After the New York Times took something Charlie Kirk said totally out of context, they quietly retracted it, admitting that Charlie was reading a quote that wasn't his, which was then followed by his critique of it. It's really disgusting. The corrections, no one even remembers the corrections. They remember the original content, New York Times. But think about how much power the New York Times still holds over the Democrat Party they seem to represent. They're hell-bent on destroying the right, framing the right as anti-Semitic, racist, fascist, and you know what? Their followers, their readers, their listeners, they listen. More importantly, people with guns listen. Lunatics with screws loose who have guns listen to the leftist nonsense. None of what they say is true, but it makes the left feel somehow justified in murdering someone in cold blood for no other reason other than a disagreement over politics. Are we surprised at all? Even when the former president of the United States actually spreads hate and violence and bigotry, they refused to admit it.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yet, despite being a supposed threat to this country, it was a MAGA Republican who was murdered by public execution as he exercised his God-given unalienable right to free speech. While they spray bullets and violence and hate, we have remained peaceful. The Swampsters responsible for the kind of violence we saw on Wednesday, the kind we've been seeing for years, are now saying all the usual things. Political violence isn't the answer. It's time to unite. They said the same things after Butler and the attempt on president's life again in West Palm Beach. Oh, and the second attempt in West Palm Beach. Right. That goodwill lasted what? Maybe 2 days, or in the case, less than a day. This case, at least, as evidenced by this embarrassment to America.
There are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
Complete rewriting of history.
Yeah, there is nothing more effed up, than to completely pretend that his words and actions have not been recorded and in existence.
Are you out of your mind? That's a United States Congresswoman representing the American people. Are you out of your mind, Minnesota? Dump her ass. Mind you, this is less than 24 hours, she said that, from the murder of Charlie Kirk in broad daylight. That disgusting comment came from Ilhan Omar. Vilifying their opponents, slander and defamation all comes from the top, and it trickles down to the leftist masses. In April, a poll found that 55% of left-of-center respondents said that it was at least somewhat justified to murder the president, President Trump. 55%. 48% of those said the same about Elon Musk. They really think that violence is the answer. Poll both sides, 55%. Listen to this young man, now the president of the Oxford Union, where Charlie debated students just a few months ago, and he stands there condoning the violence.
At times, there is simply nothing else that can be required other than violent retaliation. And this is a view I wholeheartedly agree with. The view that some institutions are too broken, too regressive, too oppressive to be reformed. Like cancers of our society, they must and they should be taken down by any means necessary.
See that last 4 words, 5 words, 4 words? By any means necessary. They're a cancer. They must be eliminated by any means necessary. The left is desperate to build a both sides narrative. But I only see one thing. I only see one side doing the murdering and the other side getting murdered. Meanwhile, since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, no one has had to board up stores and buildings. I haven't heard of a Nike store getting burned down and looted. Have you? The streets aren't on fire on Main Street, USA, are they? We opposed the Black Lives Matter violent summer of love. We didn't call for the deaths of those involved, though. We just found out that the founders of that movement were robbing everyone blind, filling their coffers with money guilty white people were throwing at them. Right now, social media is not filled with people on the right celebrating those who have died on the left. We're not sitting here wishing any of them harm. And yet these animals are celebrating the death of a peace-loving conservative. No, this is not a both sides issue, leftist, progressive. I have no interest in meeting violence with violence. I'm not saying that. But I sure as hell am not absolving the left by agreeing with their lies and deflection. It was not Charlie's fault he was assassinated. Absolutely no way. They created a raging nation. Agree with them or die. It's that simple. Agree with them or risk it. Or we'll take a few out and maybe they'll change the rhetoric on their side. We'll just kill a few. Maybe the rest of them will calm down and not be so vocal about their views on America. There were no assassination attempts on Biden, on Kamala, on AOC, on Chuck Schumer. List goes on. There are no assassination attempts on any other prominent voices on the political left. Those who oppose gender ideology do not call for the death of those who disagree with them. That's not what we do. This is not a both sides issue. They can't say it is. They can't spin it like that. I spend every single day pointing out their policies, their words, their agenda, their hypocrisy. And you know what? I fight them with their words, with truth. And that could be enough to get someone like me, I don't know, the next target. I'll leave you with this. When in 1968, RFK addressed a group of people who worked on his campaign right after Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed in Memphis.
What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.
This is not a both sides issue until the left loves this country more than they hate us on the right. And that, folks, is the truth. Okay, switching gears here. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, you ever think maybe now might be a good time to buy some gold, whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification? Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold, and so they created something special. Until September 30th, just a few days from now, a couple weeks, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of, get this, up to $10,000 in free metals, gold or silver, on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text the word America to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. Birch Gold is the only precious metals company I trust. I use them. I have them send it right to my house. It goes right into a safe. And by the way, so do tens of thousands of their customers. So make it right now your first time buy to go of gold and take advantage of a rebate and get this up to $10,000 when you buy by September 30th. Text America to 989898. Claim your eligibility. Get your free info kit. Again, the word is America. The number is 989898. Just type it in the box where it says the address, put 989898, and then in the box where it says, what do you want? You say, America. And they'll take it from there. All righty, something's coming. We know all about it. We've been talking about it. One more time.
After baseball, I came here. Wall Street. Every second, pressure. Every decision, a bet. Some guys wrote, some ran. I didn't. Pressure's not the enemy. Weakness is. You either rise through the fire or get left in the ashes. That is the edge.